Hello, I was doing some research looking for a list of things that would tell me about a color revolution list of rules that said that you change something culturally and make it mad. I wasn't able to find the list exactly that I was looking for, but what I did find was I found a book about Alice Bailey. So in 1922, Alice Bailey published a book called Initiation Human and Solar. So I started looking through the book, and if you go back to like around page 197 in that chapter, it's got rules for applicants, and there's 14 rules listed in that chapter. So, like in rule number 6, it goes on to talk about putrefaction. You can read it. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But it goes on to say that this rule might be summed up in the trite instruction that to each disciple that he be strictly vegetarian. So being a vegetarian is necessary in her viewpoint to be an occult practitioner. She goes on to say that the lower nature becomes clogged and heavy, and the inner blaze cannot shine forth when meat is included in the diet. This is a drastic rule for applicants and may not be violated. Aspirants can choose to eat meat or not as they prefer, but at a certain stage upon the path, it is essential that all meat eating of every kind be stopped, and the strictest attention must be paid to diet. The disciple must confine himself to vegetables, grains, fruits, and nuts. Only thus can he build the type of body which can stand the entry of the real man who has stood in his subtler bodies for the initiator. Should he not do this, and should it be possible for him to take initiation without having thus prepared himself, the physical body would be shattered by the energy pouring forth through the newly simulated centers, in danger, in dire danger. To the brain, the spine, and the heart would eventuate. It must be, it must, of course, here be recognized that no hard or fast rules can ever be laid down except the initial one that for all applicants for initiation, meat, fish, and fermented liquors of all kinds, as well as tobacco, are absolutely forbidden. For those who can stand it, eggs and cheese are sometimes better eliminated from the diet, but this is not always, but this is not in any way compulsory. It is advisable always that those who are in process of developing psychic facilities of any kind should not permit themselves to eat eggs and very little cheese. Milk and butter come under a different category, and most initiates and applicants find it necessary to retain them in the diet. A few exceptional people can subsist and retain their full physical energies on the diet mentioned in the preceding paragraph, but there are but the ideal is embodied, and we all know the ideal is seldom attainable in the present transitional period. She goes on to talk about that there's a balance and common sense is important and is a desirable trait. But this is on page 197, rule number 6, and rules for applicants. And this book was written in 1922 by Alice Bailey. Called Initiation Human and Solar.